You have to build some kind of connection. If you have a family of more than 2 children, almost always you can build a very easy connection, especially with anybody from China, places like that. It works very well. So I usually spend a little bit of time chatting. I'll tell them about my family. I'll maybe show them a picture or two of my family. And something interesting, my son was born on Christmas Day. They usually go, really? Things like that. And tell them my daughter was born in China. Little things like that help to kind of break the ice and get them familiar with you. You don't want to start teaching immediately. You don't want to say, hi, how are you? Okay, let's learn English. You can't. You don't know what they want. You don't know what they need. And the scope and range of what you can teach them is very broad. So we'll get to that in a minute. So the main thing is, at the beginning, just get a connection. And if they feel comfortable with you, more than likely, they'll be likely to take classes with you on a regular basis. And so do what you can to make a good first impression and get a good connection with them. Ask about their families, ask about their job. Now, one of the other reasons why I ask about their job is because I really want to know how much money they can pay for these classes. I mean, if they're unemployed and they're struggling, that might be okay if they have a rich mom and dad. There's one guy that his name is Ray. If you ever get on some of these platforms, you may end up meeting Ray. Ray wants to have an additional 100,000 hours of English training. An additional. And all he does when he gets on is talk. The first time I had a class with him, I said hello, and about 30 minutes later, I finally said, wow, that's great. And another 30 minutes later, I said, wonderful, when would you like to have another class? He just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And my mind was spinning but that's what he wanted. He paid, I think for me, he averaged about $14 an hour just to talk. On occasion, I put a word in here and there, but his mom and dad are rich, and he's living in Australia, and now he was demoralized. One of my other students, almost everybody that I've gotten to teach online has taught him one time or another. And but I think it was Miss Siebenhaar was talking to him, and she said, you know what? I just had a class with 2 13-year-olds, and their English is so good. And he said, 13? Oh, he was just demoralized because he's about 20, 23, 24, and he was like, I can't believe a 13-year-old has better English than me. But she lived in America for a while, so that kind of helped. But anyway, so it's making that connection, finding out a little bit about them. Will also tell you if they're there to get freebie classes and just steal your time, because you'll get those that will never pay for a class, but they just want to basically steal your time to learn as much English as they can.